On the issue of 3D guns, President Trump tweeted he was, quote, looking into it.
Yeah, get on that.
How much do you know about the 3D printed guns debate?
I mean, what I've read is pretty substantial. It's been going on for like years and years and years.
I know about 3D printed guns. I know about their existence. I know about, I don't know. I'm vaguely familiar.
I feel like I know a good amount about it, but I've been slowly reading any developments that happen.
Cody Wilson of Defense Distributed was set to release downloadable blueprints of 3D printed guns on August 1st, 2018, claiming it was a free speech First Amendment right of his.
I mean, his argument is pretty weak considering that the First Amendment obviously has limits. I mean, you can't go into a crowded theater and yell fire.
And you spoke with Cody before. Was it about this?
It was about this, yeah. He was like telling me about, you know, his very libertarian perspective on why this is a First Amendment issue more than a Second Amendment issue. Problem is that it's not just a First Amendment issue, right? Like, this isn't just about the freedom of information. This is a much bigger question of like, what role do we want guns to play in our country?
A federal judge blocked the online publication of 3D printed gun blueprints prior to the August 1st deadline. Do you think this ruling will hold?
It'll probably hold just because so many attorney generals in the whole law enforcement community who have a lot of sway with judges will make sure that this goes through. I mean, I think they see it as like a tipping point, that it's all about disincentivizing bad behavior.
The fear is, if it's very easy for people to get these blueprints and download them, and 3D printers and other kind of printing technology becomes cheaper, then it could become much easier for bad people to do bad things anywhere they want and have untraceable weapons.
When you look at the dark web, do you really think laws will stop these blueprints from making themselves available to people who are seeking them out?
I bet if somebody really wanted to find the blueprints, they could go on the dark web and search for it and find it relatively easily.
If you want to do harm, like, the resources exist for you to get those materials, for you to get those plans. But what laws do, right, is that they put speed bumps.
If you present a whole bunch of obstacles and hurdles to that goal, that will reduce the amount of violence.
So like, it's not going to stop you. If you are determined to get this stuff, you are going to get it, right? So it's not, you know, cutting access off entirely, but it will prevent some people from getting to them because not everybody knows how to use the dark web.
3D printers and technology are becoming more advanced and affordable. Do you think it's moving too quickly for the law?
It probably is, because in general, law lags the technology. I mean, look what's happening now with self-driving cars, where the federal government and the state government, they're all conflicted about how to handle this. Half of them aren't even, you know, looking at the issue. And so, yeah, with 3D printed guns, it's another case where this wasn't anticipated.
It's really hard to have this conversation around 3D printed guns when, like, gun reform in general, or gun laws in general, are so patchwork, are so messed up in the first place. These are big issues. Like, these are why we have the current gun issues that we have.
On the issue of 3D printed guns, President Trump tweeted that he was, quote, looking into it. How tied are his hands at this point with the NRA?
He's pretty tied into the views of the NRA, and it sounds like he's obviously said things in the past and then all of a sudden walked them back to please the NRA, especially after the Parkland shooting.
When he says he's looking into it, I am not too optimistic. I believe that he really doesn't care that much about gun control, and that he's just going to be pandering to his base who just want more people to have guns freely. 3D
printed guns are adding to the overall gun debate in the country. Do you think it's possible to truly combat this issue in the United States?
I mean, that's like the million-dollar question.
The 3D printed gun debate latches onto two things that Americans love more than anything, right? Their right to say whatever they want, and their right to own guns.
What could happen down the line, decades from now, a few years from now, when the technology is cheaper and it becomes easier for people to print these guns?
Despite some efforts to put tighter gun restrictions on this country, the general direction has been one that is, you know, broadening availability of guns. So, you know, I think that this is just, again, a piece of that.